The job of a software tester is about to change more in the next 3 years than it has in the last 30. And the reason for all this? It's artificial intelligence. So today, we're going to skip the question of if AI is changing the game, because, spoiler alert, it is. We're here to show you exactly how to stay ahead of it. Okay, let's dive right in. We're going to build this entire explainer around this one single powerful idea. You probably heard something like it before, right? But it just perfectly captures the shift that's happening in our industry right now. See, it's not about human versus machine. It's about humans with machines. It's a great quote for sure. But how does that actually translate to your day-to-day work, to your skills, to your career path? Well, that is the core question we are going to answer today. We're going to break it all down with some super clear examples and up-to-date data.
To really get to the heart of this, let's start with a simple analogy. I want you to forget about code and complex software for just a minute, and instead, think about playing with toy cars. It's actually a surprisingly good way to understand this new partnership between testers and AI.
So what's so interesting here is how the work gets divided. The AI, it's an amazing assistant. It can do thousands of repetitive things perfectly, run the same test case over and over and over again, and it never gets tired. But, and this is the key, it has zero context. You, the human, you're the detective in this story. You're the one who knows which toy car is the favorite and needs a little extra attention. You know that a slippery track in the software world might be a user on an old phone with a spotty internet connection, a situation the AI would probably never think of on its own. And most importantly, you know the ultimate goal. Is this thing actually good? Is it fun to use?
Let's see how this actually plays out. Meet Timmy. His job used to be, well, pretty boring. Just mind-numbing repetitive checks all day long. But then his team brought in an AI tool, and his whole role changed. The AI took over all that brute force clicking, which freed Timmy up to do much more valuable stuff, like creative, exploratory testing, and really thinking strategically. So the crucial takeaway here is that his value didn't come from clicking a button, it came from his ability to direct the AI and then use all that new free time to think like a real user.
Now, this isn't just some nice story we're telling. The idea that humans are still absolutely essential is backed up by the real-world limitations of what AI can actually do today. So we're going to look at the 5 big reasons why you, the human tester, are still firmly in the driver's seat.
And this slide lays out those reasons perfectly. First, AI follows instructions. It can't feel a user's frustration. Second, sure, it can generate tests, but a human has to check its homework and make sure they're the right tests. Third, AI is fantastic at testing the known paths, but it really struggles with those what-if moments. Like what if a user from another country tries to check out with an expired credit card? That kind of creative, edge case thinking, that's all human. Fourth, it can't just go have a chat with a project manager to understand the real business risks. And finally, accountability. A human being makes the final call to ship a product, not some algorithm. And let's be crystal clear, this isn't some trend that's happening way off in the future. It is happening right now. According to the latest industry reports, a huge 89% of companies are already using or at least experimenting with AI in their testing. The train has definitely left the station. So what does this actually mean for jobs? I think this is probably the most important slide for anyone feeling a little anxious about all this. Just look at the numbers. The overwhelming majority of leaders, they aren't planning to cut their testing teams. Nope. Instead, they're looking to evolve them. They need the same number of people, but they need those people to be collaborators with AI, not just manual laborers. This whole evolution really changes the role of a tester. It's a total upgrade. You're moving from being someone who just does repetitive tasks to being a strategist, a leader of quality. You basically become the quality captain, in charge of not just finding bugs, but overseeing the entire quality strategy for your team. And that includes deciding how and where AI can be used best. This table just lays out the transformation perfectly, doesn't it? The old way was all about execution, finding bugs you pretty much already knew were there. The new way is all about direction and exploration. You tell the AI to handle all the known stuff, which gives you the time and energy to explore the unknowns. It's a big shift from just doing labor to using your brain for strategy.
The implication here is pretty clear. In today's world, choosing not to use AI is basically choosing to be less efficient. Your colleagues, your competitors, anyone who is using these tools will simply move faster, cover more ground, and get better results. You wouldn't choose to walk in a bicycle race, right?
Okay, so this all sounds great in theory, but where do you actually start? It can feel a little intimidating, I get it. But the good news is, getting started is way easier than you think. You don't need to be some data scientist, you just need to be curious.
So here it is, a simple, practical exercise you can do in the next 10 minutes. Seriously, open any free AI chat tool. Start by just asking it simple questions to see how it thinks. Then, give it a real testing problem. And here's a pro tip, be specific. This is the beginning of a skill called prompt engineering. So instead of just saying, test the login button, try something more like generate 5 negative test cases for a login button on a mobile banking app that should reject users under 18. See the difference? The goal isn't to get perfect answers right away. The goal is to learn how to ask the right questions to your new robot helper.
And hey, if you're sitting there feeling like you're already behind, this next message is for you. The truth is, the industry is still in the very early stages of this stuff. Testers who start learning and adapting now, you're the ones who are going to become the leaders and experts in the next few years. You are perfectly positioned to ride this wave. You're right on time.
So, let's end with this. The conversation is no longer about whether AI is coming for your job, it's here. And it's more like an incredibly powerful, tireless intern that is just waiting for you to tell it what to do. The only question left is what's the first task you're going to give it.